post consulting that a lot of people take is in the corporate strategy roles. Now, what do I mean by that? You go and search on LinkedIn for Google strategy and you will find a lot of people from Accenture strategy, McKinsey, BCG, Bain, all these guys actually now working for Google in their strategy departments in India itself. You do the same thing for Meta strategy and the same thing appears. Now, a lot of people after spending a few years in consulting, they don't want to go through the same kind of grind, right? You have to work for 12 to 14 hours every day. Why do you want to do that forever in your life? You work for 2 to 3 years in consulting, then you move out and then you apply for these kind of strategy roles. And these companies also have a lot of ex-McKinsey, BCG, Bain, Accenture, Kearney guys. So they'll be happy to take their juniors from consulting world. So this is a great fit for folks who want to typically avoid working very hard, but still do some very interesting work and settle down in a good corporate career. So that's a popular option taken by a lot of my friends as well personally. Then the obvious question is, hey, which company do they choose? Why would they go to Google versus Shell versus British Petroleum or Indian Oil? Why do these guys go to any of these companies specifically? When they work in the consulting world, they do certain projects, right? Some projects could be doing advertising strategy for an e-commerce company like Flipkart, or doing a manufacturing improvement process, or doing a revenue growth project for Shell. Any of the areas in which they worked in previously, if there is an alignment with that particular job, they will be picked up very, very easily. So getting into a corporate career after consulting is also very lucrative and one of the most straightforward paths. A lot of consultants also take is going into the venture capital and private equity space. Now let's talk about what is private equity. Private equity guys generally invest money in a company, a private company or even a public company, or they want to buy out that entire company with the whole hope objective that they want to improve the performance of that company and make more money, right? That's the whole objective of these private equity guys. So there are two portions in the entire private equity world. One, the people who invest, and number two, the people who go ahead and improve that company operationally, right? Make it more cost efficient. And this setup of operational roles are taken by ex-consultants, and have seen a lot of people from my network itself after consulting go on and pick up these operational roles in the private equity world. Very lucrative path, meaningful work, and you actually get to implement the strategy. People who say that, hey, consulting is all about just designing a document, putting up strategy on the paper, but nobody utilizing it. This is a great switch for them because they go ahead and do the real on-ground work for improving a particular company. This is the third option. After spending 8 years at McKinsey in the US offices, I moved back to India because I wanted to start something from scratch, and specifically in the education space. Well, why education? Because when I was working at McKinsey, I had an option to take 8 weeks of unpaid vacation. Well, I was not receiving any salary, but I still did take that vacation, and I used to go and teach at a school in Washington, DC. And this program is called as Take Time at McKinsey. This option, I primarily did it honestly because I wanted to improve my profile for getting into top business schools. That's the reason why I did that. But after going to school for 3 months and doing that for 2 to 3 years, I wanted to actually be a teacher. More than being a consultant, that was making me more happier. So I decided that after finishing up with consulting, whenever it could be, I actually wanted to move into education. And that is the reason why when I decided to quit consulting, I moved into the education space and be an entrepreneur in that space. So once I moved back, literally, I was away from the Indian market for 10 years. And I had no idea about the new market, new trends, had no connections, so on and so forth. So the first thing I did was I logged into the McKinsey alumni portal, and I then searched for folks who can help me out. Who are some of the names who are in the education space in India? Then I found out that the founder of Ashoka University was an ex-McKinsey person. So I went and had a chat with him. There were a few mentors as well, some really senior people working in the industry. I scheduled some one-on-one conversations with them, and I had asked these questions like, hey, I just moved into India. What do I do? How do I go about doing this? So one of the gentlemen who is a very senior guy, he was working with Disney Hotstar at that time. He told me that, hey, Pavan, now I can see that we are all moving into that influencer, social media marketing. So why don't you at least start with your social media presence? So at that point in time, literally 2019, I had 0 followers on LinkedIn, 0 on YouTube, 0 on Instagram, all that stuff. And I just took his advice, started doing stuff, and today I have close to 300,000, 3 lakh followers on all these channels together. Thanks for all your support. Now, this alumni network really helped me a lot in terms of thinking strategically, some mentor support whenever I was a little down. All these things were really, really impactful. I never raised funding. I never wanted to go and raise some money for my startups, and hence I never even touched the venture capital space. But that option also existed because a lot of VC guys were ex-consultants. So all in all, through my post-McKinsey, post-management consulting career as well, was heavily influenced by the network that I built through consulting journey. Now, all the 3 options have something in common. Well, you can pick any one of them based on your personal risk appetite. The other side of the party, whether it's a corporate world, whether it's a PE, VC world, they are open and they welcome consultants because they know that these guys have the ability to work hard and get the stuff done. And also, they have been grilled very hard in the interview rounds, so they don't need to do it once again. So these 2 things work in the favor of consultants in the long run. Thank you so much, guys. I hope you understood what are some of the exit options, popular exit options after consulting. Do let me know if you have any questions, and I'm happy to make another video around it. Take care. See you.